Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin' Hippo. I hope that you came in here today ready for a dose of reality and some tough love, because I'm going to talk about a subject that I feel is probably divided down the middle. About 50% of resellers are going to agree with what I have to say, and I feel like 50% don't. And I'm basing that on the topics I see in reselling groups on Facebook. Every time this topic comes up, it seems like it's divided right down the middle. And I usually try to stay away or avoid controversial topics. But I also try to use this channel to teach best practices, to help you guys be successful, help you guys be professional, and help you grow your businesses. And there's just some things that resellers do that I think can be detrimental to everything I try to teach you and coach you to do. So we're going to tackle this topic today, and it's going to be a hard dose of reality for some of you and some tough love. And you may disagree with me, and that's okay. But maybe you'll at least listen to what I have to say and maybe take it a little to heart, because I feel really strongly on this, and I do feel that I am absolutely right as far as best business practices and being professional. You guys, stop shipping items in food boxes. Don't do it. It's disgusting. It's so gross, and I don't care if it's clean. It's not a good look to put an item in a Kraft macaroni cheese box or a cereal box. It just is not, it's not a good look. It looks gross and unprofessional. And it reflects on the eBay community and the Poshmark community. If you're doing this on Poshmark, I really hope not. If you're doing this on Poshmark, I'm sure you're getting a lot of backlash. But yes, it does reflect on the reselling community as a whole, and whatever platform you sold the item on that you ship in the food box, you're reflecting on that platform as a whole, as an entire community. Unfortunately, buyers don't typically differentiate between Flippin' Hippos and Tom's store and Sally's store and eBay as a whole. Most buyers see eBay as one big place where they buy stuff from. A lot of them don't even understand that there's third-party sellers. They just don't differentiate that. When they buy off of Amazon, they buy off of eBay, that's where they're buying from. And if they have a bad experience, or they don't like that their item was shipped in a food box, it's going to reflect on their opinion of eBay as a whole. And therefore, you are affecting the businesses and the livelihoods of other resellers. When you do something unprofessional, when you conduct yourself in an unprofessional manner, when you do something that gives a buyer a bad taste in their mouth or gives them a bad experience, they're going to associate that with eBay. Not with you, not with the store that sold them the item. They're going to associate it with eBay. And I've read this and I've heard it and I've seen it a million times. A buyer will have one bad experience with one bad apple, one bad reseller out of all of the millions of great ones. And they'll stop shopping on eBay because they put a bad taste in their mouth, and they don't want to shop on eBay anymore because one person did something that gave them a bad experience. Every interaction you have with any seller reflects on all of us. Just remember that. Whatever you do, try to always conduct yourself professionally at all times. If you're communicating with buyers, if you're back and forth on messages, if you're dealing with returns or non-paid items, just be a professional. Conduct yourself like a professional. You run a business. You're an adult. So act like it. You know what I mean? Because you're representing all of us. One bad experience can ruin it for everybody. I kind of want to say don't be selfish, but that's not really being selfish. It's just not thinking things through the way buyers do. Of course, as sellers, we all know, hey, we all have our own store, we all have our own business, we all do our own thing, and we just sell on eBay's platform. They don't see it that way. And one of the biggest excuses I hear when folks are defending mailing items in food boxes is, but I'm a hobby seller. Okay, you can still be a professional seller. Just because this is a hobby or a part-time job for you doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing things the right way. You shouldn't be a professional. Kind of think of it like this. If you had a part-time job outside of the house, do you get to go to that job and half-ass your job and make mistakes constantly and not do what you're supposed to do and then tell your boss, but I'm only part-time. I only work here part-time, so I don't have to follow the rules. I don't have to be a professional. I don't have to conduct myself in any type of way because I'm only part-time. All you full-timers can deal with the customers and our clients professionally, but because I'm only here part-time, I can do whatever I want. It's not kind of how the world works, right? Obviously, even if you're a hobby seller, this is your business. You are your boss. You can do what you want with your business. It's a little different than having a part-time job as an Uber driver and driving recklessly and ending up fired because your mentality is, I only do this as a hobby, as a side job for some extra money. But you are affecting other people. And I don't buy the hobby seller excuse. I'm sorry. I was brought up to believe that everything I do in life, I do with pride. Whether it's a hobby, a part-time job, a full-time job, cleaning my house, making dinner, whatever I do in my life every day, I do it to the best of my ability. I do things right. I do them to the best of my ability, and I always take pride in everything I do. From, cleaning the bathroom to making a dinner to writing in my bullet journal and planning out my business to listing and photographs. Everything I do it with pride. So if you are a hobby seller and that's your excuse that you're putting items in used food boxes, I don't buy it. I don't like it. It's gross. You need to stop because you should still be taking pride in what you're doing. You still have a business online, whether it's part-time, full-time, or a hobby, or 3/4 of the time. It's still your business. You're reflecting on the entire eBay community as well as yourself when you do things. So you should be taking pride. You should be doing things that make you happy, that you did your best, and you should be able to look at everything you do and say you're proud about it. And if you're proud about sending things in food items, that's your problem. I don't think you should have pride. You should have pride for recycling. Yes, I understand that. And that's the next point I'm getting to. We all want to be sustainable, environmentally friendly. We all want to recycle. We all want to take care of the earth and not add to all of the pollution and things that have already happened to earth. But there's other ways to recycle. There's tons of other ways to be sustainable. There's tons of other ways to take care of the earth. You can take all of your food boxes and your cans and all of that stuff, and you can recycle it locally to you, to centers that will take it and reuse it, repurpose it for other items. You can absolutely recycle boxes to ship in if they're not food containers. And if you're a used clothing seller, you are already doing a bunch to help the environment. So many used clothing items end up in the landfills every single year. And now that there's all of these used clothing resellers online, there's like a whole entire army of us that are keeping millions of pieces of clothes out of the landfills. That's absolutely sustainable. We're going to the thrift stores, we're buying all these used clothes, we're reselling them to people who can use them, and we're keeping stuff out of the landfill. If you shop at the bins, you're keeping all of that stuff from the dump because everything that doesn't sell at the bins absolutely goes to the landfills. So we're all doing our part anyway because we're all recycling, reusing, repurposing, and selling secondhand items and keeping them in being used by folks instead of just being dumped off in a landfill. And there's tons of ways you can recycle boxes and reuse items for shipping. For example, if every time you order something online, save your box, save all your papers and your bubble wraps. We save everything. If we get a shipment or we order something that has that brown paper in there, the tissue paper, I absolutely reuse it. And bubble wrap and boxes. You guys, there's so many ways to help the environment without looking like an unprofessional, gross person who puts an item inside of a container that used to have food in it. It's gross. Please don't do it. Not to mention, unless you're shipping clothes, those boxes are not meant for shipping. And I have seen, trust me, I have seen electronics and hard goods that were sent inside cereal boxes without any extra padding. And I guarantee you, whoever sent it was trying to be environmentally friendly and sustainable. So they put a breakable item in a thin cardboard cereal box without any extra wrapping, because extra wrapping would be bad for the environment. The item's going to arrive broken. It's not going to work. I guarantee you. If you've been shipping for any amount of time, or even if you're just learning, you know, shipping boxes are a little thicker. They're meant to ship breakable items and electronics in. You've got to add the bubble wrap and the extra cushioning and the padding and all of that. You can't be putting items in these boxes, aside from the fact that I think it's gross and unprofessional. They're not meant to ship in. Cereal boxes are super thin. Macaroni and cheese boxes are super thin. Fruit snack boxes. I mean, that cardboard is so thin. It's not meant for you to be shipping in. And you know what? Even if you're putting clothes in there, if that box gets wet, it's ripping. Those boxes, I'm telling you, are so thin. They get wet, it's over with. So do you really want your buyer to get a wet, wrinkled, ripped Frosted Flakes box with half of their shirt hanging out and all soaking wet? No, you don't. They're not meant to ship in. You shouldn't ship in them. You should absolutely recycle them. Most cities around the world now let you recycle most anything on the curb, and if you can't, you can take it somewhere. And they make a lot of items now out of recycled glass, plastic, and cardboard. So absolutely take stuff to your recycling centers or set it out at your curb if your city offers that, but don't use them to ship in. You can recycle all of the shipping boxes and everything that comes to you from anything you order. You can ask your friends and your family to save all of those items. Keith and I haven't bought shipping boxes in over a year because we have his family members saving boxes for us, from everything from small boxes like this that his dad gets like fishing lures in, to really big boxes his grandma orders clothes or shoes in. So you can ask everyone you know, friends, family, neighbors, hey, save all of your bubble wrap, the paper that they stuff in there, the air pillows, the boxes, save it all, I'll take it all. And then you can reuse it and you're recycling. You can also go to a lot of stores in your area. They have places out back. It's not a dumpster. It's not garbage. They have like a cardboard only location, and you can take boxes out of there. You can also go into stores and like talk to the manager, and most times they are more than happy to hold boxes aside for you. So you can go into a Dollar Tree or a Giant Eagle or a Safeway, and you can say, hey, I'm looking for boxes. Can you hold them aside for me? And they absolutely will. So those are ways that you can recycle and also get free supplies. If the issue is that you can't afford supplies, you can absolutely go out to many places and get free boxes. If the stuff you're shipping is under £1, that's the way to do it. You want to ask for friends and family to save stuff, ask stores for stuff. If your shipping weighs more than £1, you can be getting all the free supplies you want from the Postal Service. You can go to USPS.com and order boxes and padded envelopes, padded flat rate. They have paper envelopes, and then they have these, which I'm trying to pull one out to show you, like this. They have all different kinds of size of boxes. Some are flat rate, some are not, but they're all free. So you can get all of those free supplies as well if what you're shipping is going to go priority if it weighs over £1. I cannot express how unprofessional I think it is for a buyer to receive an item in a container that had food in it. And one of the things I read or hear the most in the groups when the debate sparks, if my item arrived to me in good condition, I don't care. I would care. I would think it was gross and you would get a negative feedback from me. If I got an item, I don't care if the box is clean, if it looks clean, and if it didn't rip or tear or get wet and my item inside is perfectly good. To me, there once was food in there. You've put my item that I spent my money on, my good money, you've put it into a container that used to have food. I don't want the shirt or the jeans or the plush or whatever, a tie, whatever I buy. I don't want it in a container that used to have food in it. I want it in a box or a package that is meant for shipping. I don't even care if I can tell you recycled an Amazon box. Things like that don't bother me because clearly that was a box that was meant to ship in and it had some other type of item that someone purchased on Amazon in it. But when I get a box that used to hold pasta or cereal or whatever, to me, that's just gross. And I know a lot of people feel that way. The debate, like I said, usually seems to be half and half in the reselling groups. There's resellers who really want to defend the recycling angle or the if my item arrives in good condition, I don't care. They always want to say that. And then there's the other half that feel the way I do, that it's just unprofessional. And it's a reflection on all of us. So just try to do everything professionally so that eBay's reputation doesn't go into the trash. And remember, buyers don't think like we do a lot of times. So even that, like half of you that feels justified and okay with doing this, with shipping items in food boxes because it's sustainable and the item will arrive okay. You think that way and you're a reseller, but a lot of buyers don't. A lot of buyers are not resellers. They don't ship on a regular basis. They're used to, most buyers actually these days are used to shopping on Amazon, most online buyers. So they're used to things arriving in professional boxes in a professional manner from Amazon. So if they order from eBay and something comes in a Frosted Flakes box, they're probably going to be turned off and upset and angry. You have to remember that buyers who've never resold or don't resell at all have a completely different mentality than us. And they expect a lot more. They expect things to arrive professionally. Just don't do it. Stop putting items in food boxes. All right, guys. Let me know your questions, comments, concerns in the comments down below. Be respectful of one another. We all have different opinions, so just be respectful. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up before you leave. If you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to this channel. Help us feed a hungry hippo. Until next time, go be productive. Go make some money. Oh, and don't forget to join our Facebook group. It's called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. Free to join. Link down below. Thanks, as always, for watching. You guys are the best. Bye.